A personal friend of the Kim family and Cincinnati Police Specialist Buddy Blankenship will now deliver his personal reflections.
Good morning. Over the last week, actually since just a week ago today, we've all come to know Sonny Kim, the police officer. We've since heard about the lives Sonny touched as Sensei Kim, as a neighbor, a friend, and most importantly, as a husband and a father. I'm anxious to talk for a little bit about the friend I've come to know over the last 30 years, almost 30 years. First, I'd like to say a little bit about Sonny's history with and the love of our city that developed before all but just a few of us knew him. Sonny's family immigrated to Cincinnati from South Korea in 1974. Sonny was only 8 years old at the time. 4 years later, Sonny's father made the decision to move his family to Chicago. Like any true Cincinnatian will tell you, and as Sonny soon came to see, Chicago might be nice, but it's no Cincinnati. Less than a year later, Sonny was begging to come back home. He insisted. Over the last week, I've got to talk to and get to know Sonny's Aunt Susan better. Susan said he was so bullheaded, he was not going to take no for an answer. So I said, yeah, come on, you can live with me. Sonny settled into the Norwood public school system, where he began making some of his lifelong friends. Eventually, he went back to Chicago for high school, but not for long. After graduating, back to Cincinnati he came. Sonny just knew this was the city for him. This was the city he had opened his heart to. Sonny chose us. I met Sonny in 1987 at the University of Cincinnati. We were both college students, typical college students. Not a lot of money. We still managed to get out and partake in some of the city's nightlife. One of the things I came to appreciate most about Sonny was he was never out of place. He always belonged, no matter where we went. Whether a blues bar in Corryville, a nightclub in Oakley, a corner pub in Norwood, or a chili parlor in Pleasant Ridge, Sonny was welcomed with open arms. And if we happened to wander into a place where we didn't belong, it only took a few minutes for Sonny to make that right, and soon everyone there was okay with Sonny and his tag-along friend. Being Sonny's friend opened the door to experiences and friendships I almost certainly would have otherwise passed on. Sonny helped me see the value of opening your heart to all the different types of people our city had to offer. By the middle of that year, Sonny had entered into the process of becoming a Cincinnati police officer. You should think about it, he told me. You make a pretty good salary, he said, almost $32,000 a year, and you can still go to school. By the end of the year, Sonny was selected and appointed to the police academy, and I never heard another word about the salary after that. It was immediately apparent that what drew Sonny to this job was not the salary. Through the academy, and after eventually Sonny made it to the street, he couldn't stop talking about the police officers and supervisors he was learning from and respected so much. I first heard heard from Sonny names like Steve Truss, Mike Garner, John Bortline, Mike Howard, Charlie Fuller, and Pat Galligan. It's just to name a few. Sonny's first district was 4 on second shift, and I heard all about it. He told me it's the busiest shift in the largest district in the city of Cincinnati, with the largest relief that goes out every day. Sonny fully embraced the camaraderie and brotherhood, the traditions that are the Cincinnati Police Department. Another place he belonged. While Sonny was so impressed with the department he was finding his place in, he equally loved what he was doing for the people of our city. He told me about the auto accidents where he helped people, the family trouble runs where he protected the abused, the burglary and robbery suspects he helped to chase down, and so much more. Sonny was always impressed and humbled by the support of the citizens and the business owners and the way they expressed it to our police officers and for the job that he was doing. I was looking through my old friend's personnel jacket the other night, and it tells it all. Apprehending a stabbing suspect while he still had the weapon in his hand, investigative techniques that resulted in closure of numerous aggravated burglaries, stolen cars recovered, negotiating with armed and barricaded people to their surrender, locating and returning lost elderly persons, and getting stranded motorists out of harm's way and back on their way, even rescuing a man from the Ohio River after he had jumped to try to take his own life. And on and on and on. And these are only the people who thought to say something or write something. As police officers, we all know there are 100 good deeds that a policeman does for every one that is noticed. Over the next few years, after Sonny was hired, he would head back to Chicago from time to time to visit his family. When his work schedule permitted, and that was never nearly enough, he said, for his mother. After one such visit, Sonny came back to Cincinnati, and he was talking about a girl he had met. Suddenly, Sonny was able to find the time in his schedule to get back to Chicago a few more times over the next few months. When Sonny talked about Jessica, when he described her, the person he was finding her to be, you just knew she was the one for him. Before long, he was telling his friends back here in Cincinnati he was going to get married. Now, Sonny played no small part in the role in meeting and eventually going out with my now wife, Christy. As a result, Sonny was one of the groomsmen in my wedding. And I guess turnabout being fair play, when the date was set, Sonny asked me to be one of his groomsmen in his wedding in Chicago. He asked a total of 4 of his buddies from here in Cincinnati to go with him. And of course, we all said yes. Sonny then explained this would likely be like no other wedding we'd been to before. Sonny told us that Chicago was not like Cincinnati, and many of his family and family's friends had no need to associate outside of the Korean community in Chicago. Sonny was right. Well, I didn't mind being one of the tallest people I saw all weekend. It certainly would have been easy for us to feel out of place. Mr. and Mrs. Kim made us feel welcome, made us feel like family. Our weekend in Chicago is one I'll always remember with a smile. We all got to see just what a wonderful family Sonny had come from. This week, we have seen Sonny's love for this city. Sonny's love for us only started at the police department. Sonny has meant so much to so many people outside of the department. Sonny has taught, mentored, and loved countless people as a sensei at his dojo, as a neighbor, as a friend, and as a member of our community. But when you really get a feel for the kind of man Sonny was, and the place where Sonny concentrated most of his energy and love, is when you get to know Sonny's family. His faithful, loving, devoted wife, Jessica. His hilarious and wildly, artistically talented son, Timothy. His strong and athletic son, Joshua. And his off-the-charts intelligent son, Jacob. Sonny and Jessica have already gone a long way into creating 3 fine young men. Young men who will no doubt continue to enhance and change lives for the better for years to come. Young men who already have and will continue to make their father so very, very proud. I've heard Jessica and the boys offering their thanks to many wonderful people and businesses in our community who have already stepped forward and done so much. Jessica has even said she is humbled and feels people may be doing too much. This is not surprising to hear from a family who have always given so much more than they've ever been willing to accept. To this I say, Jessica, guys, please continue to accept what we are able to offer as we try to express our love and appreciation. Sonny loved us first, and we know there will never be any way we can repay what he's already given. Tim, before I finish, I just want to say, I do believe God lets you see Instagram posts in heaven, so keep writing. To the rest of us, keep telling your Sonny Kim stories. Keep talking about how Sonny changed, even saved, or made your life better. That way, Sonny's love continues to beat in all of our hearts, as it will beat in the heart of this city forever. Goodbye, Sonny.